So this has become a yearly conversation that we have every time this outlook is launched. There is always a conversation about it. As we speak right now, it is raining heavily in Lagos. I hear also part of Ogun State. What do you make of this particular report and the impact that it might have?
Well, I'm very impressed that the Hydrological Agency has come together with NIMET and also the Ministry of Environment to bring out this, and particularly because they are now utilizing higher technology systems to be able to predict a lot closer. And this is very, very encouraging because the reality, as you said, it's a continuous activity. Last year, there was rain that was very heavy in certain areas the previous year. And in the future years to come, we're going to be having, in fact, Secretary General of the United Nations, he said, it's no longer rainstorm. What we need to expect is what he called rain bombs. That is a massive amount of water falling in a short period of time. We've already seen this in certain locations around the world. This year alone, in Valencia, Spain, they had 1 year's rain fell in 8 hours. And that's because of global warming. Once you warm the planet, you're going to have more evaporation from the water sources. And remember, this our planet is 2/3 water on the surface. And when you have this heat evaporation, you're going to have much heavier rain. So I personally feel we should declare a state of emergency.
And I want you to stay on that state of emergency and what it entails, because one of the things that the minister said, which seems to look like what is lacking, he talked about the community preparedness and then the flood management. It's not just even about the rains, it's about the fact that, you know, there is no adequate flood management and states are not projecting ahead, as it were. And I just wanted to speak on that state of emergency and how where you think that states are falling short.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you declare a state of emergency when the situation is as worrisome as it is now. Because the kind of floods that could come if we don't do the right thing will impact so badly. We're talking of the potential of thousands of lives, especially the lives of the most vulnerable, the children and the women folk. They're the ones who die when these floods come in the higher numbers. And this is very, very possible because the rains are going to be coming heavily. We need to empower the ministries of environment, and we need to talk to the people in charge of those ministries and the various agencies attached to those ministries of the awesome responsibility that they have. Because if they do the wrong thing, they'll be responsible for the death of many, many vulnerable people. And those kind of circumstances need to be avoided just for their own sake. If they do the right thing, they'll be ensuring that people's lives are protected and safe. They need to be empowered. There needs to be massive awareness campaigns amongst the communities, and let the communities themselves know that you can no longer just be using the drainage systems that are there as waste areas. You have to make sure your drains are not used for throwing waste and all kinds of trash. Plastic should not be allowed to be thrown on the streets. And the people themselves, the individuals, we need to warn each other and tell each other, hey, don't throw this plastic there. Yes, absolutely. Yes, a lot of empowerment.
Mr. Majekodunmi, I just wanted to ask you, because again, we focus too much on climate change, but is it time for states to start focusing and coming up with policies when it comes to adaptation?
Definitely, absolutely. They can learn a bit from Lagos. Lagos is doing quite well with that. They have a very, very active people in the Ministry of Environment here, and they need to be empowered a lot more, because adaptation, this is the only way that we're going to save lives. And we're talking of hundreds, thousands of lives could be lost, but the adaptation is possible. There's very, very specific things that need to be done. The drainages need to be totally cleared. We need to have more drainages, and people should not be allowed to block drainage areas with development. And this particularly refers to the low-lying states, like Lagos, the states on the coastal areas particularly, because nature herself has provided natural flood relief systems called the mangroves, and we need to ensure we protect those mangroves.
We're hoping that this year government will not just ask people to move to higher grounds, but actually provide alternatives, places where people can actually stay. Thank you so much for your time, as always. Environmentalist Desmond Majekodumi.